everyone, welcome back to another episode of Guitar Talk. Hit the like button, subscribe button, all those YouTube-y things. Roll that intro. What's up everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are looking at and it took us a while to get one, Epiphone Dave Grohl signature guitar. So just to start off with, this is not a sponsored video. We bought this guitar with our own monies from a normal shop. We've not been told what to say. The opinions in this video are my own, and this will not be a comparison to the Gibson model because I don't know how faithful Dave has been. You were our hero. With what he's asked for in terms of the specs compared to the Gibson model, I've never played the Gibson model, I've never seen it in the flesh, so it won't be a comparison to that. Kicking off the specs at the body on this, we've got a layered maple top and back. We've got the diamond F-holes, similar to the Trini Lopez. We've got a three-way switch, 2 volumes, 2 tones. These are CTS pots with Mallory capacitors and Gibson burst bucker pickups. Going over to the next side of things on this, we've got 22 frets on a bound laurel fretboard. It's a set glued in mahogany neck with they call it an elliptical C shape. It's quite a big C shape profile on the neck. We've got Grover Mini Rotomatic tuners on here. It's a 12-inch radius and a 24.75-inch scale. Sounds and tones that you can get out of this guitar. I am still using my Fractal FM9 on the triple crest preset that comes in the unit as standard. I find it's a good preset for giving a variety of tones for these demos, and we know this guitar can do Foo Fighters because Dave has played these live with the Foo Fighters, but I'm more interested in what else it can do and how versatile it is, which on that note, there's no coil splits on here. You are straight up humbuckers, which are the Gibson burst pucker pickups. They are a great set of pickups. You've got a bitey bridge tone, and the neck pickup is nice and warm sounding. The middle position is my favorite on this guitar, where you get the warmth of the neck pickup but the clarity and chiminess of the bridge pickup shining through. Cleans, it does some lovely warm clean tones. You're not going to get that Strat style kind of Cory Wong funky sound out of it because obviously there are no coil splits on here, but you can get some very big, dynamic, rich sounding clean tones. The mid gain tones on here are lovely. There's loads of clarity coming through, so you can play those big chords with a bit of gain and still hear every single string. And as well, on top of that, you can push it into high gain territory where, oddly, I find this guitar kind of shines a little bit. Harmonics come through, there's still clarity in the guitar, and you can play some big, chunky riffs on it. Build quality on this straight out of the box, obviously I can only speak for this particular guitar where I've taken it out of the box, and for the most part it all seems very, very good. There's a couple of little bits in the finishing where I think they could have taken a bit more care where the finish meets the binding, but the actual build quality itself, it seems like it's been put together very well. It's nice and sturdy, it's very balanced, it's not like neck heavy, which I know some people worry about, especially with a headstock of this size and the semi-hollow nature of the guitar. It's very balanced. I can take my hands off the strap. I can balance it on this stool with just the body, which I did do to get the focus of the camera, and it wasn't neck heavy or any danger of falling off the stool. So in terms of build quality, very good for the price that these are at. I know you get the USA pickups and all of that, but just a bit more care I think could have been taken. Setup on this out of the box, obviously I can only speak for what I get out of the box here with this particular guitar. I don't know what you guys will get out of yours, but I can only speak on experience of this. And I will start by saying the last video I filmed, which was for the same company, Epiphone, it was an Epiphone, the guitar was set up so badly that I had to do a full setup before I could even film the review, because it just, I wouldn't have been able to do all the playing bits with how it was set up. And someone commented to say, if you buy the guitar from a discount warehouse, then you can't expect the guitar to be set up. It's on the shop to set it up, and all that stuff. And I used to work in a guitar shop, and we would check every guitar that we could when it came in to make sure that it was set up properly and address any issues. And if there were any major issues, we would just send it back to the supplier and say, hey, this isn't good enough. And there are some things like these come with like a little checklist to say they've been checked in the factory, they've been set up, all checked, all strung up, everything all ticked off by a worker in the factory that is supposed to be setting these up. And this brings me to my point that when I got this out the box, this nut is an issue. The strings are getting caught in the nut's not been cut properly, so it is constantly going out of tune. Playing the little playing clips for this video was a challenge, because you would just do one little bend on the string and then it's out of tune because it's just getting stuck in the nut. That is not a shop thing where, yes, a shop can sort that out, but someone at Epiphone has put this on, tuned it up, checked it, and then ticked it all up to say, yes, this is up to standard, this guitar is set up. And that's not cool. On a guitar of this price, it's over £1,000 in the UK, with a long wait list to get one of these. You're looking at the top end of money that you pay on Far Eastern guitars, Chinese made guitars. This shouldn't be an issue, and there are some sharp frets down here which shouldn't be an issue either when you're paying that kind of money for a Far Eastern guitar. It should come out the box with none of those problems. Yes, things move in transit, but this isn't a move in transit thing. This is just, it's not been finished off properly. The frets haven't been dressed on the ends properly, and this nut has not been cut properly. But other than that, the action on the guitar is fine. It's a nice average action that most people will be able to get on fine with. The intonation is in, the bridge is at a sensible height, the pickups are at a cool height. All of that stuff, absolutely fine, but just out of the box, the nut issue and the fret issues, although easily sortable, they make for not a nice playing experience. That will get sorted. It will be wonderful once it has been sorted, but at the price point this guitar sits at, you shouldn't have to be sorting that yourself. Is the guitar worth the money? At this point, these sit around the £1,249 £100-ish mark in the UK, and secondhand even more because they've just been so out of stock everywhere. The Gibson equivalent is obviously well out of 99% of most people's price range because it's just long out of production and just ridiculous money. Is this particular guitar worth the money? It's cool that you've got the hard case that comes with it and you've got the USA pickups. The Epiphone inspired by Gibson 355s, 335 that you can get, sorry, is a great feeling guitar. Is this several £100 more than that guitar? I would recommend trying the two of them and making that choice for yourself. But obviously, if you want that Dave Grohl guitar and you want that look, then this is kind of what you have to go for. Would I be happy paying £1,249 for one of these? I would question where the value is compared to the cheaper Epiphones. But as I say, if you want the Dave Grohl guitar, you want a guitar that he plays live, then the feeling of having this and going, I've got that Dave Grohl signature guitar is priceless. It's whatever you want to pay for it. Very cool guitar, very great sounding guitar, but as I say, I would question personally where exactly the price difference is. I know CTS pots, Mallory caps and all that, but what's that, 30 quid's worth of stuff? Is it worth the money? Questionable. I will leave that up to you guys. Would I play this guitar live? And as usual by that, I mean, if I was going on tour for a year and someone gave me one of these or two of these and said, you can only play the Epiphone Dave Grohl signature guitar on this tour. You got a couple of them for different tunings. And at this point, they've been set up and all that stuff as well, not this particular one, as I mentioned. Would I be happy playing one of these live? Now, I know that I'm going to get some really cool tones out of this. I know I'm going to cover 95% of what I need to play and get some really cool sounds. But it is very obviously a Dave Grohl signature guitar. It is striking in its looks. It's recognizable. There's no hiding the signaturiness of what you are playing. And there is something for me that gets in the way a little bit. I like to, most of the time, set my fractal to a sort of good, usable, dual kind of tone and roll the volume off on the neck pickup and flick between bridge and neck for clean and dirty tones. The position that they've put the switch in just is not comfortable to get to. The bridge is right in the way. So if I was trying to just flick between clean and dirty for different bits, and as well, I know it's easy to just turn it around a little bit, but the way they've set it for the bridge is straight down, neck is, well, it's kind of angled a little bit the same way the controls are, like that, if you can see that. So there's no I need to flick down because the switch doesn't go that way. I know you can just turn that around, but the bridge is still in the way. Would I play one of these live? As a backup, which I know is not what I meant with would I play one of these live. As a backup, I know I'd get the tones that I want out of it sat in the rack if I picked it up and played it. As my main guitar, not for me. It's too signature. The switch is in the wrong place. If you're in a Foo Fighters tribute band or anything like that, or just a big Dave Grohl fan, then an absolute must, a great sounding guitar. But just not for me as a main gigging guitar, if that makes sense. Is there anything that I don't like about the guitar? Just two things for me. One, the elliptical C-shaped neck is, I would describe it as being like that early 50s profile, that almost half baseball bat style neck. I know it's a signature guitar, it's what Dave wanted. I would prefer a thinner style neck on the guitar myself. It's a bit big for me. The only other thing is the position of the switch. The bridge is right in the way. As I mentioned, I like to kind of set bridge volume and neck volume and flick between the two for clean and dirty a lot of the time. And the position of this switch, even if you turned it around a little bit to make it a bit easier, the bridge sits kind of above the switch. So when you go to sort of like switch it, your thumb most of the time just goes over the top of the switch, which is great for not accidentally knocking the switch, but it means if you're wanting to quickly flick between the two, you do have to get down in there to change the position. Great for a bit of protection if something hits the front of the guitar that you're not going to hit the switch, but I personally would prefer the switch up here in that kind of traditional Les Paul position myself. So there we go, that is the Epiphone Dave Grohl signature DG guitar. Very cool looking, very iconic looking for a iconic frontman of a huge band, and so many people have wanted this guitar to be a thing for so long. It'll be great when they're more readily available on the market. It's taken us ages to get this. Obviously this particular one out of the box has some setup issues, which I know are easily sortable, but you shouldn't be getting that on a guitar that's like over £1,200 new. Let me know what you guys think. Did you get one? Have you got one yet? Have you managed to get a Gibson and compare it to the Gibson to see how close they are? Let me know what you think. Let me leave a comment down below. Hit me up at dan@guitargeargiveaway.co.uk, whatever suits you best. Other than that, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.